Audiences fell in love with Night Court's wacky portrayal of a Manhattan courtroom. Whether it's the history of the jazzy theme song, celebrity guest stars, or the cast of misfits that make up the ensemble, this is everything you never knew about the beloved sitcom. A magician and comedian, the late Harry Anderson appeared on Saturday Night Live and guest starred on Cheers as conman Harry the Hat before landing on the bench at Night Court. As Judge Harold Harry T. Stone, Anderson is the moral center of the show, with a screwball sense of humor and a love of magic tricks, classic films, and the music of Mel Torme. A relatively young jurist in his 30s, Harry lands the gig out of hundreds of candidates because he happened to be home on a Sunday to answer the mayor's call, as he explains in the pilot All You Need Is Love. In the show's finale, he receives an offer to tour with Torme, who by then had made several guest appearances on Night Court. In addition to Judge Stone, Anderson, who died in 2018, played humorous columnist Dave Barry in the 1990s sitcom Dave's World, and the adult Richie Tozer in the 1990 TV adaptation of Stephen King's It. Prosecutor Dan Fielding rarely shows compassion, although he occasionally surprises those around him when he does. Actor John Laroquette's wry demeanor and dry delivery kept Dan from being a one-note lech, partly because the scripts know and Dan is more pathetic than smooth.
Your Honor, circumstances of a very extremely urgent personal nature have arisen and regrettably forced me to ask for a recess.
Sex or money, Dan?
Laroquette, who made his film debut providing the opening narration of 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, has popped up on other series since Night Court ended. Most notably, the comedy drama Boston Legal and the fantasy adventure series The Librarians. Markie Post wasn't the first public defender on Night Court, but she played the role the longest as Christine Sullivan from seasons 3 to 9. A perpetual foil for Dan's advances and a romantic interest for Harry, Christine is smart, witty, and amusingly flustered, thanks to Post's comic timing. Much like Harry idolizes Mel Torme, Christine too has a quirk. She adores the royal family and Princess Diana, collecting memorabilia such as porcelain thimbles. Christine is honest to a fault, although she does flash a guy to help Harry win an arm wrestling contest. She becomes disillusioned and considers quitting her job soon after arriving in season 3 when a man mugs her. But when the same mugger winds up taking hostages at the courthouse, Christine rediscovers her compassion and helps save the day. The series' end sees the impassioned and creative defense attorney off to Congress. B-movie veteran Richard Mole had shaved his head for a role when he auditioned for Night Court. The producers liked the bald look so much on the 6'7" Mole that they asked him to keep that style for bailiff Nostradamus Bull Shannon. Bull is fiercely protective of Harry and can seem dim-witted at times, although Mole played this with a gentle and childlike nature. Bull's towering size means that he often wrangles rowdy defendants, something that makes him consider a wrestling promoter's job offer in season 2 after he corrals guest star Lou Ferrigno. Fortunately, Harry and the others convince him to return to the courthouse instead of pursuing a career in the ring. And probably the end of Night Court sees aliens whisk Bull off to Jupiter so he can help short aliens reach things on high shelves. Since then, Mole has appeared in But I'm a Cheerleader and Scary Movie 2. He's also voiced various animated villains, including Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series, Scorpion in Spider-Man the Animated Series, and the Abomination in The Incredible Hulk. Accompanying Bull as the older and wiser bailiff on Night Court are 3 women scattered throughout the show's tenure. The deadpan Selma Diamond played bailiff Selma Hacker in seasons 1 and 2, earning Golden Globe and Emmy nominations. Sadly, Diamond died of cancer in 1985. Her replacement, Florence Hollop, played Flo Kleiner during season 3, until she too died of cancer in 1986. Enter Marcia Warfield, who had made her comedic debut as part of Richard Pryor's TV sketch show in 1977. Her Rosalind Roz Russell has a no-nonsense demeanor at first, but Roz also has a caring side. After she becomes involved with Christine's handsome pen pal in season 6, played by a pre-24 Dennis Haysbert, she's floored to learn that the man is an escaped prisoner. Roz sees him sent back behind bars, although Bull gives her a chance to say goodbye privately. She scolds her fellow bailiff before giving him a kiss on the head. Rounding out the courtroom regulars is clerk Charles Robinson, who played Macintosh Mac Robinson in seasons 2 through 9. A Vietnam veteran, Mac is married to Quan Lee Duke Robinson, a refugee from Vietnam who becomes an American citizen and opens a restaurant during the show's run. Typically wearing a plaid shirt, cardigan, and knit tie, Mac is a loyal friend and more of a straight arrow than Harry, although he can also get the better of Dan with a punchline. At the end of the series, Mac decides to attend film school and become a director, in what might be a nod to the real Robinson's directing chops. Robinson directed 3 episodes of Night Court, but he's also continued acting, appearing in The House Bunny and the TV series Key and Peele, Mom, and This Is Us. We can't mention Night Court without discussing its distinctive instrumental theme song, a bass-heavy jazz tune that runs over the opening titles and shots of the Brooklyn Bridge, Municipal Courthouse, and people mingling around the city at night. This iconic theme is the work of composer Jack Elliott, who served as music director for The Andy Williams Show and also co-wrote the themes to Barney Miller and the 2011 Charlie's Angels series. Beyond his work in television, he served as the music director for the Grammy Awards, the Academy Awards, the Primetime Emmy Awards, the Kennedy Center Honors, and the 1984 Summer Olympics ceremony in Los Angeles. Night Court's theme includes a saxophone melody played by Ernie Watts, a longtime studio musician. Watts notably played sax on Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On and appears on the soundtrack for The Color Purple. Beyond Night Court, astute fans might have noticed parts of the theme appear elsewhere in pop culture, including a Family Guy episode in which former U.S. President Bill Clinton plays saxophone. Befitting a long-running show with various court cases, Night Court has a lot of guest stars. One of them was Brent Spiner, who later shot to fame as Lieutenant Commander Data, a self-aware android curious about human life on Star Trek The Next Generation. On Night Court, Spiner played Bob Wheeler, husband to June. They appear to be down-on-their-luck Appalachians from West Virginia, but are really from Yugoslavia. When asked about why they lied, Bob has the perfect explanation.
I don't know. It was just the first exotic place that popped into my head.
The pair appear in front of Harry for various mishaps, including trying egg farming with a propane-powered incubator, as Christine explains in their defense. At one point, the Wheelers even run a concession stand in the courthouse. But the Star Trek ties don't end there. John Laroquette appeared as the Klingon Maltz in 1984's Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. What's more, during one marathon caseload in Season 6, Harry hears a case involving two Star Trek fans who cause a disturbance at a seminar discussing Starfleet Command. One, dressed as Geordi LaForge from The Next Generation, and the other, dressed as Mr. Spock from the original series, nearly come to blows, with the latter threatening the former with a Vulcan death grip before Bull intervenes. Night Court's guest stars range from the well-known, like Mel Torme, to actors who had not yet earned wider recognition, like Dennis Haysbert. Some appear in just one episode. During his run on Family Ties and just before Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox dropped by Night Court as a shoplifting runaway, whose encounter with another defendant who thinks he's Santa Claus sets him on the right path. Other one-episode guest stars include Terry Hatcher, who played Dan's boss's sexy niece, Robert Englund as a defendant charged with arson who thinks aliens are among us, Fran Drescher is a schizophrenic woman whose personality changes leave Dan literally bound and gagged, and comedian Elaine Boozler is Joy, Harry's ironically named abrasive assistant. Others, like Spiner, had recurring roles. Comedian and actor Gilbert Gottfried played a temporary prosecuting attorney over 3 episodes in Season 9. Another comedian, Yakov Smirnov, appears in 5 episodes from 1984 through 1990, playing Russian defector Yakov Korolenko. He first appears before Harry in Season 1, charged for stolen property and threatening to burn down the courtroom. In spite of this, Harry takes a liking to him, later helping him search for his brother as well as obtain a visa extension for his father. Although every episode is set during the night shift, Night Court might be best known for several day-in-the-life episodes in which the regulars work through a hefty docket on a deadline. Reasons for these time crunches include a burst pipe flooding the holding cells and the staff racing to beat a federal judge's ruling granting amnesty to anyone not arraigned by midnight. One of these stories, Season 5's Another Day in the Life, is one of the series' most popular episodes. Its setup involves a Texas millionaire arrested for jumping in a park fountain, who offers to pay the mortgage of an impoverished orphanage if the staff hears his case by midnight. Meanwhile, Dan has a bet with the other prosecutors on who can convict the most defendants by weight. The rapid-fire banter and colorful case snippets of these unique episodes squeeze in lots of laughs. In one, 2 defendants dispute which one is God. Another time, Harry scolds the Pope for standing and waving while driving, something the pontiff doesn't actually do. The judge even finds an animated Wile E. Coyote guilty of harassing the Roadrunner.
And might I add, if you're hungry, go to a restaurant for criminy's sake, or a grocery store, but leave that poor bird alone.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.